What's going on YouTube? Back with another video. So today I'm here to talk about some of my favorite actors. This is not a greatest actors of all time debate or anything like that. So there's going to be a lot of names left off. This is just me giving a quick run through some of my favorite actors. So don't be offended or don't think I'm just making hot takes, because I didn't include whoever you think should be on the list. Again, this is just some of my favorite actors of all time. Some of the guys who I feel are the greatest to ever do it. At least in my opinion. But again, it's not necessarily me saying that they are. This is just me giving you some of my favorites. In the comments, I want you guys to tell me who some of your favorites are. Who you might think is the best. Please keep it respectful, of course. But without further ado, I'm going to start off with Leonardo DiCaprio. Dude is a phenomenal actor, and the thing that really stands out to me about DiCaprio is the intensity that he brings to every role. That dude should have been nominated for an Oscar for Django Unchained. That monologue he gave at the dinner table is a phenomenal scene. I still don't understand how he got robbed of a nomination. I don't care what nobody says. He should have been nominated. He was phenomenal in that film. And really, he's phenomenal in everything he does. Again, it's that intensity for me that he brings. The speech that he gave in Wolf of Wall Street, I ain't going nowhere. Like, that scene is awesome. Just everything he does, man. He does great, and there's nothing that he can't do, in my opinion. And he's going up against some heavyweights. He's acting against Daniel Day-Lewis. He's acting against some of the greats and held his own. De Niro, obviously, he was really good in the most recent Scorsese film, Killers of the Flower Moon. Dude is just great in everything he does. So he's one of my favorites, man, and in my opinion, one of the best to ever do it. Moving on, I'm gonna go to a guy who I think, again, I said this wasn't a greatest of all time debate, but if I had to say somebody was the greatest of all time, it might be this guy, Denzel Washington. That guy has so much swagger. He's like the coolest dude in the world, man. The way he pulls it off is just phenomenal. And again, another actor, another example, right? There's nothing he can't do. He's very believable as the good guy. He's very believable as the bad guy. We've seen him do both exceptionally well. I was actually reading an article about him this morning. I didn't realize that he's been nominated 10 times for an Oscar. Obviously, we knew he had won twice, but 10 nominations is outstanding. And it's definitely, I think he's earned his spot among the greats. And the thing about Denzel that really stands out to me is how he can turn it off and on, right? Where, sometimes, like we saw in Malcolm X a little bit, where, he's easy going 1 minute and then he kind of snaps on you the next minute, and we've seen that in multiple films of his, and the way he does that so effortlessly, it's just outstanding, man. Like I said, Denzel, in my opinion, he might be the GOAT. He's a phenomenal actor. Next on my list, Christian Bale. To me, Christian Bale is a perfect example of a chameleon. How that guy can just fall into any role is amazing to me. And to me, even though I think DiCaprio and Denzel are better actors than him, I do think he does a better job at blending or falling into his roles than they do. Because Denzel is such a personality, and it's good, right? But he's such a personality that sometimes you still remember that it's Denzel. But with Christian Bale, he really, you forget that you're watching Christian Bale play whatever character he's playing. You're watching that character. Obviously, he won the Oscar for The Fighter. He was Dickie. I don't know. I can't remember. Dickie Ward, I believe, was his name. Was the actor, or the boxer that he played in that film. He was Dickie Ward. That was not me watching Christian Bale play Dickie Ward. That was Dickie Ward. Like, that's how good Christian Bale is. Obviously, and I'm not saying that DiCaprio and Denzel can't do that, but again, Christian Bale just has this way of really blending or falling into that character. He just does it in such a phenomenal way, and I really love that about him. Obviously, he was great as Batman. He brings physicality. He brings total commitment to his roles. He's just phenomenal in everything he does, man. In Vice, he was really good in Vice. So I'm a big Christian Bale fan. Next on my list, this guy, he's to me, he's probably like one of the greatest actors at playing villains, and that's Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe is a phenomenal actor. Man, I love that guy. Like, he is so good at everything he does. Again, another actor that he doesn't phone in. If he does, then you can't tell. You know what I mean? But I really love him as the villains. He's good, but when he's a good guy, he can, I buy it. Like, I never struggle with that. Like, certain actors, right, they kind of get typecasted, obviously. Not Willem Dafoe. Like, if you sell me, or you tell me he's the good guy, I believe it, right? You tell me he's the bad guy, I really believe it. Like, dude is a phenomenal actor, man, and he really does well at playing villains. And I just like the fact that, again, he has fun with it, and he balances that line, right? Depending on what he's playing, he really knows how to kind of like toe the line between go a little bit farther with it, like go a little over the top when necessary. Like, he can really do that without it feeling over the top. And to me, that's his standout thing. At least in my opinion, is that he knows how to sometimes cross that line of like going overboard, but it doesn't feel or seem like it's overboard. But it is at the end of the day, and he really does well with that. Next on my list, this guy is not really, to me, he's not the actor. He's not in the same acting caliber as the four names I mentioned so far. But his presence, he's one of the great movie stars. So not so much a thespian, but a movie star. Even though he can act really well as well, and that's Samuel Jackson. I actually just watched Pulp Fiction last night, and I was dying laughing, man. He was so great in that film, but obviously he's great in everything he does. Samuel is a great example of, like, you know, to me he's more of a movie star than like a thespian type actor. But he's a movie star who can actually act. You know, he can be funny, he can be intimidating. You know, obviously, you know, he can just do it all, really. And I like the fact that he really seems to enjoy acting. He really seems to have fun with the whole process. And, you know, he really seems to get a kick out of playing all these different characters and all the cussing that he does. But it's so funny and hilarious, man. So I just love that about him. The next guy is my favorite actor, actually. I don't think he's the best, but he's my favorite. That's Will Smith. Controversy aside, I love Will Smith. Again, another great example of a true movie star. Obviously, we know at one point he was the biggest movie star in the world, you know, and but he's also shown that he can really act. Obviously, he did win the Oscar. You know, he had been nominated a couple times before that. Will's a phenomenal actor, and I really love it when he turns it on and actually, you know, acts and not just plays Will Smith. Even though I love the Will Smith persona that he shows in his films, I also like it when he actually acts in his films because he's actually really good actor. Jamie Foxx is another one who I think is underrated. Jamie Foxx is a really good actor. I think he's highly underrated. I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves, but I think some of that could be too. He's not always in the best movies, but he himself is a phenomenal actor, so I'm a big fan of his. And that's just a quick run through of some of my favorite actors. I could go on and on. There's so many great actors out there. There's a lot of names I left off. Maybe if you guys like this video, I'll do a part 2 to it. But that's just a quick rundown. Eventually, maybe I'll start ranking them and start doing like a, you know, top 10, top 5 Mount Rushmore type thing. If you guys like it, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what some of your favorites, or who are some of your favorite actors. And like I said, I'll do a favorite actresses video, going through some of my favorite actresses. And yeah, just stay tuned. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great night.